All right, hello, welcome to the weekly UK Sangha. I've been gone for a while, but I'm just starting up the calls every Wednesday now again. So I'll be here, and thank you so much, Pietro, for joining.
Hey,
I'm here with my good friend. It's been a long time since we've seen each other, so it's good to be reunited. Um, I didn't have any actual sutta prepared for today, so I just planned on freestyling it. So if there's any topic of interest, Pietro, go ahead and bring it up.
yeah,
If
it's fine.
Yeah,
If you are contemplating on something, it's okay.
everything's okay,
Otherwise,
that's right. Yeah, there's not, and that's actually kind of like what I was planning on talking about a little bit is uh uh the hindrance of worries because the hindrance of fear and worry is it's one of the big ones. And a way that I've heard enlightenment described that really resonates with me is enlightenment is not some complicated, magical, superhuman, godly state to be in. You don't transform into some kind of magical being. Enlightenment is literally just uh, no worries or the absence of worries.
Mhm.
So what would the experience of your life be like on a moment to moment basis if you had not even one single worry in your mind at all? Zero worries, right? So you can imagine that most people's lives would be um from the experience of how they normally live life, not having any worries at all is a extraordinary state or almost
Yeah,
magical, and
yeah,
it almost seems like something that is too good to be true or impossible. But the good news is it is possible because all of your worries are mentally created by your own mind. So um you never have a worry or a fear that isn't something that you're actively thinking about yourself. So you have the choice to simply stop worrying about things and develop the skill to practice of not worrying about anything. And the
yeah,
cool thing is that everything just magically works out when you stop worrying about anything. But oh no, I need to worry about something. What if something bad happens? Oh, but like what's gonna happen to me? What's gonna be my life? Um, Actually worrying about all of that is what's actively destroying your life. So when you take away the worries, all you're left with is the experience of life and the experience of being alive and the energy and the awakeness and the vitality of just being alive in this moment and realizing that this is it. This is life. There is no other place to be. There's nowhere else to get. There's nothing else to worry about,
yeah, man.
right?
That's true. Yeah,
Right? So I'm really talking it up right now, and it feels good to talk like this. So being in a fearless state uh is what produces the experience of unification of mind or collectedness or centering yourself in the experience of what's happening right now. So when there's no worries, we can really see what's going on. But the first step to getting rid of worries is taking a look at what am I worrying about right now, right? What are the kinds of thoughts I'm having? So, right view, the first step, taking inventory. Just just take a completely without any agenda, without any expectation or way that you think it should be. Just take a completely unbiased look at what is it like to be me right now? So what are my sensations? What am I feeling? What am I thinking about? What am I experiencing, right?
Yeah.
So instead of thinking about hypothetical situations and then believing that there's some truth behind that thing that you're imagining, look right now and see that you're imagining a hypothetical situation, for example. So it's not that you need to change anything about your experience before you take a look at your experience, which is what most people do. They want to avoid what's going on with themselves, and they want it to be a way that's different than the way that it is. But the way to change the mind and to throw out worries is first to take a look and see what worries are there instead of being in denial of what's going on.
Yeah.
Is that resonating? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally, man,
Okay,
totally.
good.
I think as well that to take a look here and now is needed all the time because actually I remember when I was little more than a kid that I was really struggling to stay in my seat on a chair in front of a desk, doing homework or something. And that has been my challenge forever. Like, uh, be there, be here now. That was my biggest challenge. And so I'm happy that with
But
this
okay,
practice.
so I'm glad you bring that up because the thing about being here now is that there's nowhere else to be, and it's impossible to be anywhere else. The thing is, the only difference is whether you realize that or not. So whether you look or not and know that you are here now, or whether you're ignorant to the fact that you're here now. But think about it. Where else could you be ever? Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Very true, man.
There's nowhere else to be. Okay, whether you're sitting down and closing your eyes and okay, I'm going to sit still, that's what's going on. Whether you're walking around, whether you're restless, whether whatever feelings or hindrances are present, or whether you're doing something, whether you're scrolling your phone, whether you're going for a drive, whether you're making food, whether you're cleaning the house, you're never not in the moment as it's happening. You're just either aware of it or not. And that's the only thing to practice is to wake up to what am I doing right now, not to judge it or criticize it or want it to be different, but just take an honest look, see it for what it is. And 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 then that's the first step because once we do that, we can actually see, oh, this thought is causing me dukkha. So this is an active dukkha thing that I'm doing right now instead of doing it ignorantly, right? So a lot of people, they might drive somewhere and totally forget that they're driving the whole time and be daydreaming. And then before they know it, they're at their destination and they didn't even realize what was going on the whole time. So the point is our mind is like a dog, okay? If you don't pay attention to that dog and if you don't see what it's doing and if you don't correct it when it goes off course, that dog is going to bite you. So if you don't take a look at what your mind is doing, uh, what your instinctual mind as well as a discursive mind. So there's several layers to the mind. There's the actual thinking mind that thinks in logical and rational thoughts, thinks in language. And then there's the instinctual processing mind that reacts to certain sensory input, and then a feeling of fear may come up, or a feeling of I don't like this, or ooh, I like this, I want this will come up. and that to do with the other hindrances too, like sensual desire or ill will. Okay, so the point is not to uh, want things to be different, but just to take a look at how they actually are right now. That's the first step. Because wanting things to be different is exactly the reason why they aren't the way that you want them to be. If you don't want things to be in any other way than the way that they are, well, now you're satisfied, right? And so this covers ill will, so not liking things. This covers worry. This covers doubt. This covers sensual desire. It covers all of the hindrances. Okay.
Yeah,
So
in fact,
just go ahead.
oh, okay. No, in fact, yeah, it's so true that the satisfaction, thoughts of satisfaction come from see what's here now, you know. Also about the thing about the seclusion, because you may want to bring your body to a place where it's safe and comfortable, and so that you can see that you can be safe and secure here and now. And so the thoughts of security automatically arise, because you cannot be safe and secure in the future. You can be
Right.
safe, secure here, and realize it, as you were saying. You know, be aware of your current state. And
Yeah. So
yeah,
once we are aware of a current state that we're not feeling safe and secure, then we can take the right effort to feel safe and secure and realize, wait, actually there's nothing right now that is dangerous. There's nothing right now that's of concern. There's actually no problems right now other than the thought that there is a problem. So the only problem that there is actually you thinking there's a problem, right? But people think that there's a problem and they believe it without realizing it that they're creating the problem with their own mind. So that's why right view is so important, to look at what your mind is doing and then stop it. So stop worrying, and then now we can start to uh, we can experience safety and security on the on a mundane level. Like, okay, technically I'm safe in this room, right? There's no predators. But that safety and security is only a temporary step to a supramundane or a transcendental safety and security, which comes from seeing things clearly, seeing the body as not me, seeing the five aggregates as not me, seeing the fact that this body that I'm experiencing right now is subject to death. Um, but the good news is that this body is just a phenomenal experience that's appearing and disappearing, and its existence is dependent upon um, uh, causes outside of the body itself. So that without the entire universe, this body wouldn't be here. Uh,
okay.
uh, so we can, but if we're worried about something, we cannot see any of this clearly, right? So, so it's kind of like to use a cliche metaphor, it's kind of like if there's any hindrances going on. So if you're worried about something, if you're holding any resentment towards anyone, if you have any enemies in your mind, if you have any ill will or desire for something else, desire for things to be different, then all of this is going to cloud your view to be able to see
Yeah,
that that this body and this personality, this mind, is not really me, because it comes and goes, right? Has a beginning and has an end. Okay. Um, but so once we get ourselves into a position of safety and security, when there's actually no worries going on, the waters settle down, it becomes clear, and then we can see much more subtle activities of our mind that we wouldn't be able to notice before. So, subtle mental impressions. Where's the movement of my attention? Is my attention like an arrow, or is my attention soft and just taking it all in, right? So, in a state of worry and restlessness, people's attention is jumping from one place to the next, right? It's going here, 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 over there. Oh, I'm thinking about that. Oh, I need to adjust. I need to move a little bit. Oh, I need something else. I don't feel safe. Right? You can see it, you can read it in someone's body language. You can see if their eyes are darting around all over the place. That means their attention is scattered because of the instinctual fear that they're creating with their own mind in that moment. So when you stop creating that fear with your mind, when you tell yourself nourishing, supporting thoughts, uh, give yourself that peace on the inside, give yourself that sense of ease by telling yourself, no, everything's okay right now. That thing that I need to worry about, it doesn't need to be taken care of right now. For the sake we're sitting here in this call, there's nothing else that we need to worry about. We're here, right? Anything that you needed to do can be postponed. So, for the sake of meditation, for the sake of happiness, we can empty out the bin of all the garbage that we had in our mind that is stopping us from just col- falling and collecting into this moment and then seeing things with a sense of ease and a sense of clarity and a sense of bright, awake alertness, right? Feeling of being alive, feeling of being wide awake, right? And that's the next step. Now you can relax your body. So first you relax your mind, you relax all the worries that are going on in your mind. Now you can take a closer look at, oh, what sort of tensions am I experiencing in my body, right? To feeling my chest, is there some sort of tightness in my chest? Is there a tightness in my shoulders? Do I feel a sense of tension in my face? What does it feel like in my body right now? Not what I think or I imagine my body is like, or I picture it. What does the actual sensations of my body feel like right now? And now that we stopped worrying about anything conceptually, we stopped worrying about anything in our minds, now we can allow our body to really soak that in and rest in that security and start to relax and release some of those tensions that we're experiencing in our body. And what this produces is a very pleasant experience of sukha. So the actual experience of feeling comfortable in your own body and the experience of relief. And this experience of relief quiets the mind even further, right? So once we get the worries out of our mind and we get wholesome thoughts going, like everything's okay, everything's fine, then our body can start to catch up with those thoughts and we can start to really not only just think everything is okay, but start to really feel everything is okay, right? To feel thoroughly in your body, everything's fine right now. I don't need to worry about anything. What a relief. I can just take a deep, satisfying breath. and the effect. Now I can't keep going into this because to have a Dhamma talk, I have to have thoughts, right? But but the effect that has when your body does relax and you experience some of that pleasure and relief of having a relaxed body, that will further quiet the mind or still the activity of the mind. So instead of thinking is everything is okay, we can start to just feel everything is okay. And then the mind can be put to rest and we can just really soak in that experience.
Actually, in that case, when the mind comes to ease, I found out that that is the good point when it's easy to have the the whole body in attention. Like while breathing, having keeping let's say in mind the whole body, because
Yes.
like it's like the mind is not so far out there, but it's more settled into the body,
Yes.
and
Yes,
so it's
exactly.
like yes, yeah.
So you transition from paying attention to the thoughts to experiencing the whole body. So you can actually, instead of your attention, this is what I'm talking about. Instead of your attention darting around everywhere, the attention actually sinks down into the
Yes.
body. Yeah, exactly. So
Yes, it's so
that's
true. Yes, yes.
yeah, so now the attention is collected on the sensations of the body, and you experience the body as you breathe, right? And the breath is not separate from the body. The breath, the sensations of the breath is sensations of the body. It's sensations of your chest, sensations of your nose, a sensation of your diaphragm. So the breath is not a different thing than the body. So breathing in, I experience the whole body. So the breath is the body too, and I just experience it, and I let the attention come to a safe place in experiencing the body. And now there's really no worries there because what worries can you have when you're just experiencing sensations in your body? You're not really thinking about anything else, right? You're not in that moment, you're in jhana and you're not causing yourself any further dukkha or any psychological suffering at that point, right? So if you're
Yeah. So
breathing,
yeah, it's probably a jhana. Yes, it's probably first jhana probably. While like the first steps of anapanasati were like mindfully breathing in, mindfully breathes out, experiencing the whole body. Could be also this. I have some problems mapping right, like with the suttas, also with Anapanasati Sutta.
well,
But I
you
don't
don't
know.
have to be too concerned with the conceptual map of the Dhamma rather than the actual experience of it,
Yeah.
right? It's not that complicated. Is it what is going on in my experience? Is there dukkha, right? First step. Okay, there's dukkha. Where's the dukkha? In my mind, in my body? Where is it? What is it made of? Okay. Oh, it's in my mind. I'm thinking all kinds of paranoid thoughts. Oh, the police are gonna come and get me or stuff. Okay, that is just a thought, and I can think about something else. Oh, I've experienced a lot of fear, a lot of tension in my chest. Okay, let me look at this tension and let me make friends with it. Okay? Instead of running away from it and not liking it and then making it even bigger of a problem because I have anxiety of my anxiety. I have fear of the fear. It just snowballs into more fear. Let me look at it and just be like, oh, hello, anxiety. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Welcome. It's a guest. It's here right now. It's not always here. You know, it's not a problem that it's here. Let it be here. Okay. Just let it be what it is and just relax. And then once we do that, we can start to gather the factors of jhana. And when we do get into a really clear, collected, awake state of mind, we can see the real impermanence of it. Oh, actually, when I do experience my body, all the sensations in my body are appearing and disappearing like bubbles, or like sea foam. It's just constantly changing. Okay, there's like facial sensations, and then there's bodily sensation, and then ooh, it actually feels good. Actually, now I'm experiencing good sensations. Okay, and then just enjoy that. Okay, don't don't start to want that. Ooh, I want more sukha. Don't do what was causing you dukkha in the beginning once you get into jhana. You know what I mean? So just be satisfied with first jhana. Let's say you're still thinking thoughts. That's okay. You don't need to get rid of your thoughts. Just be satisfied and congratulate yourself. Oh, I'm thinking wholesome thoughts. You know? Don't be like, oh, okay, I got first jhana, now I got to get to second. You know, that's not exactly how it works. So the only thing that we're practicing is like what I said in the beginning, is taking a look at what's going on and just being okay with it, and realizing that it's not actually a problem to begin with. And the only thing that makes it be a problem is the thought that it is a problem. So simply get rid of the thought that whatever's going on is a problem, or whatever will be going on, or whatever has been going on is a problem.
Yeah.
So just a total transparency, a total honesty with the way that things are. And you will develop conviction and confidence in the clarity and the honesty of simply looking at the way things are. And the mind will become infatuated, and the mind will fall in love with the 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 fearlessness that comes with simply looking at the way things are. So you'll develop a sense of empowerment. Okay. That's when the PT starts to come up. Wow, I can really do this. I can look at the way things are, and I don't need to run away from it anymore. I don't need to hide from the way things are. I can look at it and just totally accept it for the way that it is. And if I'm not accepting it for the way that it is, I can accept that too, because I'm looking at the way things are. Even if the way things are is, I hate this feeling and I don't like this moment and I want it to change. Still, what we're doing is we're just looking at that too, right? This is right view. And
Yes.
right view, uh, when done, uh, when we remember to do it, it plants the seed of wisdom, of recognizing, oh, like Dhammarato says sometime, well, I've made it this far and I'm still alive. All of those problems that I was worried about in the past somehow seem to resolve itself, and here I am, still alive, right? So what makes you think that there's going to be some sort of new problem that's not just going to go away too, right? So you can have a sort of fearlessness in the midst of problems and problem making thoughts that do pop up, and you can see, oh, it's just more, hello Mara, it's just more dukkha. There it is. Okay, and then we do this on repeat. Oh, okay, here's the dukkha. This dukkha actually is not a problem because, well, it's not me, it's impermanent. it goes away. Okay, that dukkha is gone. Wow, this really works. I'm happy right now. Okay, dukkha pops back up again. Oh, hello, dukkha again. Hello, my old friend. Okay, that's okay. Welcome back. Okay, there's the door. Bye bye. Right? So it's this constant coming and going of tension and release, conflict and resolution. But the more that we pay attention to the conflict that comes up, the more we're going to experience the resolution. And we start to develop such a confidence that there's no conflict, there's no problem that comes up that doesn't have a resolution. So even when the problems do, even when the dukkha does come back, it's not as scary as it was before because we've been through this before and we know the outcome. All dukkha has comes to an end. There's no suffering, not like this too shall pass. There's no problem. There's nothing in the world. There's nothing in your entire life that will not eventually come to a resolution and you will experience peace. And and on the spiritual transcendent level, realizing the death of the body is the ultimate resolution of conflict, right? So when you realize that conflict is a temporary get or dukkha is a temporary guest in our house that always goes away, we can realize that even this body, even this mind, even this personality is a temporary guest in our house that also goes away. So while it's here, we don't become attached to it. We don't take it seriously. We see that this is all just like a wave appearing in the ocean. It appears and has its time and it disappears, but there's nothing is ever lost. There's no me. None of it is ever my problem or myself to begin with. So I can enjoy this body, right? I can look at this body and this mind as like a vehicle, okay? But eventually, just like any vehicle, the vehicle is going to break down and that you're not going to be using that car anymore eventually, right? So enjoy the car, take it on a joyride, be happy, go for a walk, do what hobbies you like to do, enjoy the friendships, but realize that all of this is temporary and it's going to come to an end. So don't attach yourself to it. Don't invest your identity in it. This body has a beginning and it will have an end. Your mind has a beginning and will have an end. Don't take it to be me. You take That's the source of all of our psychological suffering is taking the body and the mind personally, thinking that this is me, thinking that my destiny is my fate shares my body. Okay, I share the same fate as my body. Okay? But you don't. The body is not you. It's just an appearance that inevitably disappears. And the same thing with your mind, thinking that I share the fate of my mind. But if we take a closer look, we see that these things are lacking in inherent existence. Your body only exists because of the circumstances around it. So it's not a closed off individual system. Your body is not separate from the totality of existence. The totality of existence uh, includes your body, but your body is never anything other than the universe or the totality of existence, right? But Because uh, our mind has been programmed evolutionarily to think in terms of self, we believe that there is a self here that is in danger or subject to dying, right? But the body is subject to dying, but that's not us. It's just a temporary form that the universe is taking, right? Your body cannot exist without the atmosphere, without the breath that you breathe, without the food that you eat, right? When you eat food, that food literally becomes your body, right? But we think, "Oh, I am this body and this food is not me," right? So at what point do you eat the food does the food become you and not the food, right? Or same thing with the breath. Every breath you take, when does it become the air? The air you take the oxygen out of the air, is now that oxygen you?
Yeah,
No.
also the fact that we change every cell in our body every
Yeah, every
years.
7 years, like every exactly. So every
It's
7 years.
crazy.
Yeah. So
And
every
maybe
seven.
we hold an opinion for 10 years, but we change ourselves in our body in
Yeah,
seven.
and just and also think about that. That's probably the most. Nobody can argue with that. That's a scientific fact, right? And but now experientially take a look at your own mind. What kind of thoughts were you having 3 hours ago? Are you having those thoughts now? No, they're completely gone and they've been replaced by an entirely new set of thoughts. Let alone what kind of thoughts were you having 5 years ago? What kind of beliefs did you have 5 years? It's constantly changing, right? So the very fact that all of those thoughts, all of those bodily sensations, all of those feelings that we had before are gone and replaced by new ones, how were they ever you? Because if those thoughts and feelings were you, wouldn't you disappear with them? So they disappeared, right? Replaced by a new set of sensations, new set of thoughts, and you're still here. But in ignorance, we believe that this is my thought, this is me, this is my body, this is my feeling. And so we cause ourselves dukkha because of it. Instead of realizing thoughts and feelings come and go like the weather. Thoughts and feelings are like a cosmic event. Okay. There's a hurricane, like a hurricane happens. Okay. It's just shit happens. So like let's say you have a negative thought or you feel like shit. You can either think, "Oh, this is me, this is my problem," or you can think, "Oh, the weather's shitty today, but it's gonna change."
Mhm.
You know, it'll
Yeah.
change. Like it's never not changed, right? No matter so like you can have a sort of fearlessness and a safety and security even in the face of fear and dukkha and bad feelings. We can see, oh, it's just a bad feeling. It I've never had a feeling that's been permanent. So why am I going to react to this bad feeling and make it a big deal and think, "Oh, like I'm depressed or whatever, or oh, this is me or I'm this bad feeling." Because it's actually the taking a feeling or a thought to be self is what makes it a habit of keeping coming back. So people who believe I am a depressed person or they believe I am always sad or my life sucks or I'm miserable, that self view, so the first fetter, right? Personality view is what perpetuates the habit of bringing that bad feeling back up instead of realizing a bad feeling is just like a cloudy day, okay? There may be clouds in the sky, but it doesn't mean that the clouds are the sky, and it doesn't mean that the sun's not still shining behind the clouds. So
Yeah.
the
Wow.
the sun is like a metaphor for awareness or being aware, awakeness. So right viewing. So the sun is still, you're still viewing the bad feeling and seeing that the bad feeling comes and goes. But even when the bad feeling is there, and even if the bad feeling is very intense, the the viewing is never affected by the feeling. So whatever it is that is aware of your feelings is never really touched or changed by the current feeling that you're having. So we can sort of establish ourselves in a super mundane or not of the world peace that is indifferent in spite of all the cycles, all the ups and downs that we experience. Because we're gonna experience ups, we're gonna experience, oh wow, nice jhanas, maybe a really nice experience, but that's gonna come and go, and maybe some dukkha comes back up. But the real wisdom that really is liberating is the realization that all feelings, pleasant, unpleasant, are neutral, are impermanent and not self. Even good feelings are impermanent. They're not worth clinging to. So not attach to yourself to anything that's temporary. Anything that appears and disappears is not worth your time, is not worth worrying about. It doesn't matter. It's not substantial. Why should I care about something that's going to be gone in an instant, right?
Yeah.
So to put it simply, don't worry about anything.
Yeah, like the
That's
starting
it.
of the conversation.
What?
like like we as you started the conversation, I like it because the same at the end. At
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
starting of the conversation, you say, enlightenment is to not worry about anything, and now not worry about anything. So it means you
Yeah, you
went
can,
on a
like,
enlightened conversation.
you can forget all the stuff I said in the middle. And if you take away anything from this entire talk, that's all that you need to take away from it. We just
Wow.
the trick is we just need to keep reminding ourselves not to worry, because we okay, we don't worry, but then we forget we're gonna worry about something again. And then, okay, wait a sec, let me wake up. Wakey wakey. Ah, I forgot, and I thought there was something that was worth worrying about again. La- No, actually, no, I don't need to worry about anything, because, from ashes to ashes, from dust to dust, you know, all the happenings of the world are like a dream. It just appears and comes to an end, right? This is the recognition of impermanence. And the recognition of impermanence is inherently related to the recognition of no self. Because like the point I was trying to make before is that if something appears and disappears, and that was you, well, you would appear and disappear with it, yet here we are, right? And nobody knows what happens when you die. So you think, oh, I'm going to disappear with my body, but you don't know that. You're just guessing that, right? What evidence do we have? Yes, all of your thoughts, all of your personality that's not even you to begin with will disappear, that's for sure. So in a sense, that's going to die. So this mind, this personality of Scott and this body of Scott is going to die. But I already know that's not me anyways. So what dies, right? What can die that was you? So this is the deathless or the unconditioned or nibbana, is the realization that reality itself, which is what there ever has actually been, right? If we look with clarity and wisdom, all there is the unfoldment of reality. Reality itself never dies because it was never born. It was never born to begin with. Only the personality was born, right? But the personality is impermanent, and it actually has many deaths all the time, right? Your own mind is starting back up again and then stopping and starting back up again all the time. So it's already dying and being reborn all the time. So why there's no use of fearing when it dies, permanently, because it's not really substantial, it's empty. It's not really what you actually are. What you are is just reality. The only thing going on here that has ever been going on is just reality. So, if you want to call it God, or you want to call it the Dhammakaya, you want to call it the full body of things, or just the universe, or different spiritual traditions call it different things. But the point is, it's not subject to old age, disease, and death. But our bodies and our minds are subject to old age and disease and death. So the belief that our bodies and our minds is a continuous and permanent self is what creates all of our fear, right? Oh fuck, like how am I gonna get shelter? How am I gonna food? I want sex. I need this to be happy. It's all about the thought, the I thought, that this is me thought, you know, causes all the problem.
Well, yeah, yeah, man, that's true. You spoke beautiful words, beautiful words. Yeah, beautiful words. Wow, thank you, Scott.
Yeah,
It
thank
was
you, brother.
beautiful this Dharma talk of you of tonight.
Yeah, well, thanks
Uh,
for joining, man. This is great. You know,
wonderful.
it I'm here. I'm welcome to continue the conversation. But if you think this is a good place to wrap it up, I'm cool with that too.
Oh, I think you have come to a beautiful point. With this conversation,
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
but it feels like a very light conversation. But we talk about so many things. But it leaves with a very light feeling. I mean, very light feeling that in the meantime has so much to ponder upon, but very light at the same time.
That light feeling is the only point of the pondering. So the pondering is like the raft. Once you get to the light feeling, you don't need to ponder it anymore. Get rid of the pondering will probably get confuse you and get you back into dukkha. No, just stay in the light feeling. The light feeling is self-sufficient, or the light feeling is the answer in of itself. So the peace is the confirmation that yes, this is the truth. There's no words that can describe it. There's nothing that can explain it ultimately. There's no way that you're going to be able to figure out and put it in a box and be, okay, now I got it. No, the light, the peace itself is the answer. Like that's the only thing that's ever needed to be found. All the Buddha ever taught was dukkha, dukkha nirodha. All the point, the only point of meditation or contemplation ever is to bring an end to suffering. And once suffering is brought to an end, there's nothing else to do. That's the beauty of it. There's nothing to do and nowhere to go. Like, this is it. I can rest now. The feeling of lightness is the only point. It's a even more advanced stage than PT or Sukha. PT is like an energetic feeling in the body, and Sukha is a comfortable feeling. But the feeling of lightness is not in the body. It's it's spread out. It's dissipated. That's nibbana. That's chilling out. So the feeling of lightening up. Why do you think they call it enlightenment? Because
Mhm.
literally it's just lightening up. We take this stuff so seriously, but why do we take it seriously? It's all impermanent. It's all a show. All the world's a stage, and it's all just for fun. The universe, God, whatever, is just celebrating its intelligence with its immaculate creation. But where did it all come from? It all came from nothing, and it's all going to return to nothing. But even while it's here, there still is nothing to worry about. Nothing really to it. So it's not that we're getting somewhere or arriving at something or attaining something. All we're doing is stopping believing that there's anything to attain to begin with, that you're already enlightened, that everything is already fine. I mean, you can think about it uh, for fun, be like, "Oh yeah, everything is really fine," and really sustain that thought. Um, but you don't even need to think everything is fine if you already know in your gut everything is fine. And that's the most powerful revelation, is the the direct experience of peace is beyond a shadow of a doubt. It speaks for itself, and there's no words that could ever capture it.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's why in the Bible it always says, "Be not afraid." In ignorance, we're afraid. In wisdom, we see clearly there's nothing really to fear, right? Ultimately, there's only one instinctual fear, is the fear of the death of the body. If you're not afraid to die, what other fears really hold any weight to them, right? Oh, maybe, oh, my car is making a noise. Oh shit, I gotta take it to the mechanic.
Mhm.
But that's not really going to cause me existential dread. That's not going to cause me restlessness like other more weighty fears that belong to the illusion that I am this body and are produced by the belief and feeling that I am this body and mind.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, is there any other if you have a question we can keep going, but I think this is a good note to end it on.
Yeah.
What do you think, brother?
I think the same, man. Like our smiles, like talk for ourselves.
It speaks exactly. Yeah, so the happiness is palpable and the happiness speaks for itself. So this teaching doesn't need to be believed. The happiness is the confirmation of it. And that's all we really care about anyways, is whether the happiness. What
Okay.
other purpose would there be, right? So really good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining this. Like, you really are a good friend to me, so I appreciate you coming
Thank you so.
and I appreciate your practice, and it's really motivating to our other friends to see the success and the benefit that you have. So thank you, brother. All right,
Hey, thank you so much.
all right, take care.
Okay. Bye. Take care. You too. Bye. Bye.